going to be taking a look at the 2024 Shelby Super Snake Mustang. This is a limited production Mustang built by Shelby American out in Las Vegas, featuring 830 neck-snapping horsepower, some very large brakes, and some super sticky tires made for a great day like today of driving. So we're going to give you a little intro to this bad boy and let you see how she runs and talk a little bit about it. So one of the first things I'll note is on the exterior of the vehicle, talking about some of the exterior features of the vehicle, to include things like the aluminum hood, carbon fiber front fenders, giving the wide body look, extending the square and being able to square up your wheel sizes with the front and the back. Underneath that hood, we've got Shelby's proprietary tune software cranking out 830 horsepower. We're not going to find out the top speed today, but I can tell you it's north of 170 miles an hour. I'm quite sure of it. Moving on down to the wheels, we made it to the ground with magnesium wheels wrapped in Pilot Sport tires. So nice and sticky, very good for today, a day like today. Let's get those jokers heated up a little bit right quick. We get out here and don't slide around. We also have some carbon fiber aero bits, front splitter wickers on the side. They help us slice through the air and be as aerodynamic as possible, both for spirited driving on the road and performance driving on the track, should you choose to take this beast to the track, if you're choosing, which I highly encourage, by the way. This vehicle is an automatic transmission, 401A package car. Has one of my favorite options on a Mustang on it. It has the Ride shocks, a magnetic suspension, which gives you an added edge in the corners on the track, both again in spirited driving. If you are familiar with roads, famous roads like Tail of the Dragon, where I'm from in Arkansas, Pig Trail, I believe it's called. Some really fun stuff. So you want to go for a casual drive with your friends or just by yourself and your significant other. This is a great car to do it in. So getting back out to the exterior of the vehicle, coming on down the side, of course, you'll have your Shelby stripe back, front to back, and over the type stripes. This one is a iconic silver car with matte black stripes front to rear. Again, we also have carbon fiber side rocker splitters, as well as a full carbon fiber one-piece rear diffuser on the vehicle, which wraps around your exhaust, oversized exhaust tips quite nice. It looks very, very nice. Lots of curb appeal to this car from just about every angle. And then we have our fixed carbon fiber spoiler on the back, which helps us keep our rear end under load, say on the track, for example. Helps keep our rear end stuck to the road, so we can handle quite a bit better. And then coming on into the interior, Shelby does their thing on the interior, reskin the seats with, of course, the Shelby logo, the Super Snake logo, but that's the same logo that's found on each fender badge. On the outside of the vehicle, we have that in our seats, leather and suede with suede inserts. And in this particular one, we have the stock seat, which allows for the comfort of having the heated and cooled seats. If you know the options on the Mustang well enough, then you know that the Recaro seat is also an option. This particular one, we chose to go with the comfort, and it's good. You know, it can keep you stuck there. You know, that suede tends to grab on your shirt, you know, pretty well. I'm not going to say it's a Recaro seat, but it does hold you pretty well. It's just as comfortable. And in this Texas heat, you're definitely going to want to have the Bund coolers, as today is our first 100-degree day. We've got a lot of the goodies in the luxury and the safety accoutrements to the vehicle, including blind spot monitoring system. We have adaptive cruise at our disposal. We also have the full gauge cluster with the ability to customize our gauges and our look, so we can change that. You've got, you know, things like the old Fox body, if you're old as I am, 80s baby, late 70s to be exact. Then you've got the Fox body gauges. You've got the 67, 68 gauges available to swap to. I currently am running with the track apps, or the track gauge setup, which shows you a lot of different feedback that as a driver at the track you would want to see. Temperatures and such. You can also get a little bit more in detail by simply switching and going to the Mustang, the favorite button. You even have a feature over here where you can, much like a preset on the radio, You can set your driver modes, a mixture of like steering, for example, suspension, and exhaust to your liking, and simply doing it by the recall by one button, just like you would over here on your memory seats, which this is also for driver-focused, driver-centric controls. Again, seat, any driver menus and such in there. One thing I did forget to mention when we were talking about the exterior bits, in the front, our front splitter is adjustable, much like you've seen on you would see on some of the actual track cars and Ford Performance race cars and factory cars, such as the Laguna Seca back in the day, which featured the Boss 302 Laguna Secas 2012 and 2013. They also featured a similar setup with the adjustable front splitter, which allows for an extra downforce, which you'll want under load and performance driving. If you're on the track, you want to try to keep that front end as flat as possible while you are carving through corners at, say, one of the local tracks, Eagles Canyon Raceway up in Decatur, or Motorsports Ranch out at Benbrook, both of which I'm quite familiar with, both in Mustangs and several other types of vehicles, but mainly Mustangs. As I've been, a brand representative for Shelby and dealt with the Shelby brand and the Shelby family for the last, where we're at 2025, since 2011, I do believe was my first outing with Shelby American, the brand itself. I even did a little bit of consultation with them, just some minor stuff. I was not involved in any, I'd love to be involved in some skunk works, quote unquote skunk works type stuff, but I was not privy to that. But I did give some input, so it was a really good time, and I've gotten to know the brand very close and on an intimate level, and I've seen it evolve from the 2011 product 14 years ago to what it is now. And it never ceases to amaze me. I'm impressed just about every time they come out with something new. It's always at the tip-top cutting edge, Yeah, of course you can always do more, but we are where we are, and this is a production vehicle. So we got to keep it on this side of sanity, so to speak. And but you can do a heck of a whole lot with this car. It feels very good, even for a tall guy like myself. I'm closer to 6'6" than I am 6'5", and you can tell I'm actually got the seat adjusted. I actually have the seat adjusted up quite a bit, so I have my proper driving posture and whatnot. I'm able to kind of switch between different hand positions, and I feel really good and confident that I'm not too close to the airbag. And the seat goes back a little further. Like I said, I could probably go back another couple inches. So for you tall guys, don't feel left out. You can fit in here. And while I may not be the widest guy, I'm also not the most narrow fellow. So any of you, as my grandmother would say, big barrel-chested guys, you'd fit nicely in this car as well. So we're going to be nice to this one, because this does not belong to me, and I do not need that type of job security. But I will get up a little speed on it, and so you can have an idea. Mind you, there is quite a bit of traffic around this, so we're not going to be idiots. We are going to have some safe fun in this car this afternoon. And you guys live in Dallas, and you know what I'm going through. It's 4 o'clock Dallas traffic on George Bush. And you see that right there, right? So Christmas lights in the daytime, in July. Not quite July, but you get what I'm saying. Talking more about the drivetrain in this. So this features Ford's 4th gen Coyote motor with the Whipple-supercharger. Again, Shelby's proprietary software, cranking out 830 horsepower. And one of the things I liked about this particular one is that we are driving an automatic, a 10-speed automatic. And to have that much power and torque pushing through this is nothing. This car can handle it. The hardware from the factory is in fact adequate to handle. And we have some fun. We can take it in paddle shift mode if we want. We can go right into that simply by tapping our paddles, or we can shift manual and begin to do it that way. There are a couple different ways that you can do that. Again, now I'm taking kind of a cruising posture right now. You can see I have plenty of room. I'm very comfortable in this vehicle. I've got great visibility. I'm sure you can hear me pretty well. It means we have very little road noise. Now, of course, it is a performance vehicle, so you do have a little bit, but nothing that's that's beyond expectation. If you know these types of vehicles, then you know there's going to be a little bit of road noise that come with it. I feel really good in this car. It's comfortable. This is not just something that I say. If you want it as a weekend driver, great. If it's a daily driver, even better. Carroll Shelby has always said, drive these cars. Do not let them sit in a box. these cars are meant to be driven. I know several owners who have older models that have north of 100. I know one that has, last I knew it, was about 135,000 miles. And just regular scheduled maintenance. Car has been tracked, it's been kept up, it's been shown, it's got many awards, and it still looks relatively new for a 10 or 11-year-old car. Actually, it's probably more like 12 or 13 now that I think about it. But the car is meant to be driven. Again, if it's something that you want to keep for a keepsake, by all means. I can't tell you what to do with your money, but if it was me, buddy, I'm going to drive this bad boy on in town or a road trip. A road trip, I think a road trip would be fun. I've done it once in a Super Snake, a 4-hour road trip, and it was very fun, very comfortable. Again, me being a taller guy, I tend to be a little attentive to those types of things. But it was great. The new platform provides a very smooth ride. Again, and this one is one of my favorite options, the magnetic ride or magnet ride suspension from Ford factory. And so it gives you a little bit smoother ride, even on this bumpy road. Again, if you know North Dallas, North Texas roads, probably not some of the greatest, but this feels really, really good in this particular car. Not that it's any worse than the non-magnet ride cars, but my personal opinion is I like the way that this car feels and handles. Like I said, I've driven, look at that. I mean, just the ability to, it goes right back where I want it. All right, guys, appreciate you spending some time with me this afternoon. Again, this is Corey White, out of Performance Department Manager out of 5-Star Ford of Dallas. Thank you for hanging out with me and taking a look at the new 2024 Shelby Super Snake Mustang. If you need anything, you know who to call.